Hi, good afternoon. Um, I'm here to talk a little bit about digital transformation. Uh, I don't know how many of you know LTN, but we are, focused almost entirely on the top 50 or 100 media companies in the world. 95% of our revenue comes from the largest media companies. We do a number of things for them. What I'm about to share with you is really their input that I've been gathering and I'm sharing now with you. And the topic of the conversation is digital transformation for companies with high value content that has primarily been sent to legacy platforms in the past, and how to make that transition to the digital world and what others are doing. So I don't think I need to kind of go through in a lot of detail here, but you guys are all living it. The number of platforms are increasing rapidly, from virtual MVPDs, over-the-top platforms, connected TVs, connected devices, fast, smart TVs, social media platforms, web, mobile, and now emerging is wagering. And really what I would say is the main driver is revenue maximization. There are more and more segments of audiences, and each platform specializes in a particular part of that audience. The issue for a lot of our customers, and for us as well, is each platform has some unique needs, and the fragmented audience requires unique attributes to the content that they consume. So this is really the heart of what I'm going to talk about. There really are four key trends that are emerging for streaming platforms and digital platforms in general. The first, I think, is really important. Live matters. If you're just the file playout system, it is really hard to differentiate yourself. It's really hard to build a sustainable audience. It's really hard to build a loyal audience. And I'll talk a little bit about what live means. Content versioning. One size does not fit all. There are more and more requirements for versioning. Customized ad profiles. This is another topic that's very hot in the market. And then the fourth one is something that I think is really important, especially in an era where you're mixing file playout and live, and that's quality consumer experience, seamless quality consumer experience. So I'll talk about each one of these in a minute. On the live matters, live sports, as an example, increases the length of engagement. These are 3 to 4 hour engagements. You tap into fan loyalty in a very significant way, because the people that are coming to watch these events are people that are bought into one of the teams, or at least the sport. There is wagering opportunities. There is the fourth one is a really important one that we're discovering, which is live gives you aggregation of eyeballs at one time on one event, that SVOD does not. And so you're able to address a large group of people at one time. CPM rates are higher with live than they are for file playout, and they are significantly higher, not just a little bit higher. And then finally, subscriber retention. If you have a series that is why people are coming to your platform, once that series is over, people switch platforms. But if you're watching sports or you're representing something that's live, people keep subscriptions alive for much longer. It's a much higher retention rate. Content versioning. Audiences are fragmenting all over the place. They have global audiences that require different languages, different demographics. The rights management is a major issue. You might have rights for certain markets and not for other markets. And to maximize content value, you really have to find a way to version your content by platform, by geography, by demographic, and many other factors. Customizing ad profiles requires the ability to signal triggers in formats and with accuracy, in the formats that the platform wants to see the trigger in. Metadata signaling, allowing people to know the demographics of the feed, allowing them to know what the playout list looks like, allowing them to get information that's relevant to the audience, allows better advertising, quite honestly, and localization, and finally optimizing the CPM rates. And then the last point I want to make on this topic is quality experience. There is a rapid increase for our customers because we tend to work with the larger media companies. The content is very high quality. We're not talking about prosumer type of content. This is real professional content, and consumers are watching this online more and more on various platforms. Their expectations of quality is that rivals cable. They're not looking for a digital experience. They want a digital experience that rivals what they see on cable. So having the ability to have consistent high quality across all devices and that transcends all platforms is really a key to building a future with these platforms. So I have a couple of case studies. The first one is one of the top station groups in the country. This is actually a network with owned and operated stations. And we take their owned and operated station feeds and we morph that station feed into 3 different versions. One of those versions goes on the station's own website. Another version goes on over-the-top platforms, and a third version goes to fast, outlets. Each of these versions has different types of content, different types of live insertion. There are variations in which files get played out to which platform at what time, and all of this is being done in an automated fashion. This is, we're talking about something like 30 channels, I think, in total, somewhere in that vicinity. And if you go to this station's website, you'll see a version that says go live. You click that, and this is one of the largest stations in the country. The quality of this experience has to be pristine. The ad loads have to be very precise. They have to, the live insertion has to be seamless. And what we have found, and the reason why this is one of the hottest products we have right now, and virtually every station group is looking at it, and the reason they are is because it allows you in a very automated fashion to deliver something that you can localize ads on, you can regionalize and create versions, you can insert live, you can have a quality of experience that is absolutely pristine. And it's really allowing this network to maximize the utility of their content in a way that they were not able to do before. And I think this is really, if I kind of step back, this is all about revenue maximization from content that you already have rights for, that are underutilized assets. There is more beautiful, wonderful, constructed content that really, it's really hard to exploit it in an easy way. And that's what we've created with this Lift product. And if you need to know more about it, our booth is very nearby, and somebody will, take you through it. Another case study. This may apply to some others of you. This is one of the top 5 or 6 entities in the country, media companies in the country. They have rights that they have signed for over 5,000 events a year. These are all sporting events. They go from, FIFA football or soccer, whichever you prefer, MLB, variety of different sources, major content. And this particular platform, which is Univision, by the way, they are creating a Spanish language platform that allows them to take sporting content from anywhere in the world. They take the original audio, or we take the original audio off the produced program. We have announcers that live in Mexico City and I think Monterey and Miami, if I'm not mistaken. We insert live commentary in a different language than the original language. So it could be a Bundesliga game that is now being commented on in Spanish or in Portuguese. The person who's commenting on it is getting a live, clean feed. We then put special Scuddy triggers on, depending on which platform it's going to be shown on, whether it's their own or a third party. We put different graphics on it. We provide, I believe, clipping services as well. And we do closed captioning. And now you have an entirely new audience for that sporting event than the original one. So, you had, so as an example, I said, Bundesliga is being watched by the German audience, but now it can be watched by a Mexican audience in their own language, with their own graphics, with their own closed captioning, and you've morphed content, and you've now allowed the content's value to expand. And we're doing it for thousands of events for this particular customer, each year. I hope that was helpful. If not, I can explain it in a little bit more detail later on. The final case study that I'm going to talk about is one of the largest digital platforms in the world, probably the largest digital platform in the world, uses LTN to ingest stations, live channels, live events, and they do it by customizing the Scuddy triggers to match the way they want to see them. They also have found out that, or learned over time, that their view is that the quality of ingest coming into that platform is responsible for 80% of the quality of consumer experience. And so the extent to which we can deliver that in pristine quality, has a very heavy influence on the consumer experience that they ultimately, get to enjoy. We are now able to do this both for the platforms in terms of being a contribution source for these platforms, and now we're seeing all the major platforms insisting on TS ingest from companies like ours, rather than HLS input. So on the platform side, people are asking for the content to be delivered in that fashion. But now on the content side, in this particular example, we're showing a major company that has multiple linear channels. that are going to multiple platforms with multiple different encodes, formats, SCSI triggers, both 224 and 35, and this is all being done, in I would say, with excellent quality. So again, it's a way of maximizing revenue. So that's kind of what I wanted to introduce. I know it's very short, but what I will say is that this is, we're right now effectively working on about 30 different projects in these areas. This is a very hot topic. It's really important for our customers, and I'm happy to answer any questions after this. So thank you very much for your attention. I hope this was helpful to you.